1960s, when you asked kids what they wanted to be, they wanted to be doctors or have good grades. Everyone thought that getting good grades meant that they would make a lot of money. However, when these kids grow up and become doctors, most will struggle financially because they've always thought that more money could solve their problems. Today, kids want to be famous athletes, CEOs, movie stars, or rock stars. They know that academic success and getting good grades is not the only thing that can make them successful. The financial nightmare is most common with newly married couples. They start their life in a small home. They think their salaries have doubled because their money is joined together. They save for a bigger house and focus more on their careers. Their incomes begin to increase, and as a result, their spending goes up as well. When you make more money without being financially literate, you spend more. When the new couple has saved enough money to buy a new house, they think they have gotten richer. The truth is, they have added liability to their cash flow. They have to pay property tax. They need new furniture. And maybe a new car is the next on the list. One day they will wake up and find themselves trapped in the rat race. People come to Robert and ask him how they can make more money. The problem is, they think more money will solve the problems they are having. Their problem isn't lack of money. Their biggest problem is they are not handling the money they have properly. There's a saying that describes this situation. When you find yourself in a deep hole, stop digging. According to psychiatrists, people fear rejection. They're afraid to be different or being judged. As a result, people tend to go with the flow. They take the path of least resistance, least judgment, and they want the same things their neighbors have. They think they need to buy a big house or a nice car or a boat because everyone else has them. Rich Dad said the Japanese were aware of three powers: the sword, the jewel, and the mirror. The sword resembles strength, the jewel means money, and the mirror mimics self-knowledge, which is the greatest power of them all. When you have the power of self-knowledge, you're able to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself if what you're doing is the right thing to do. The poor and the middle class are controlled by money and don't become rich. At the age of 16, Robert and Mike used to spend hours with Rich Dad at meetings that he held with accountants, managers, investors, and employees. Rich Dad, the uneducated man who left school when he was 13 years old, was conducting a meeting and ordering other educated people around. Robert and Mike loved going to these meetings. They couldn't bear school. They saw how school discouraged creativity, how they were molding students into a certain shape that's acceptable to society. The school encouraged kids that being successful and rich meant getting good grades. Robert and Mike knew that this was wrong. Robert encourages his readers to buy an asset instead of buying a house. Make that asset work for you and generate enough money to be able to pay for a house. There's a reason why the rich get richer and why the middle class continues to struggle. The rich buy assets that generate more than enough money to pay for their expenses. The rest of their money is invested again on more assets that will generate more money. The middle class relies mainly on their salary to pay for their expenses. As their salary gets bigger, they are taxed more and they acquire more expenses, forever stuck in the rat race.